Live commentary TF2bers are the OGs. They were the pinnacle of TF2 content back at its peak. Editing wise, their videos are usually edited really minimally. Sometimes there's subtitles, music, or maybe a sound effect to emphasize a funny moment or to emphasize a point they're making, but there's usually no highly edited moments or animations. It's just them playing the game and talking. Now, the reason why people enjoy their content so much is because of them. It's their personality and their commentary which makes their content so enjoyable. But as always, there is a spectrum. In the live commentary spectrum, you have the normal people who play the game and are, just normally enjoyable. I think they're coming in for a push now. I'm kind of scared. I'm trying to flank the sniper and God, my aim is terrible. I missed the short circuit too. Oh God. And now there's an Uber scout with a sword. Okay, well then. And then you have the really loud ones who overreact at everything. Everybody, welcome back to another TF2 gameplay. Let's go find the game. Alright guys, so we're playing Engineer today. Probably one of my favorite classes because of his utility and items. We're gonna build a teleporter right here. This is probably one of the best spots you can build a teleporter because I watched one YouTube video that said so. Alright, and now we're gonna put our mini sentry. Everybody hates the mini sentry. I don't understand why. Nice. Oh, okay, we can just the dispenser. Go back. Guys, you have the escape plan. Kill him. Where's he going? Guys, come on. Look at him. Mini crits all day. Oh my God. Bo bam. Bam. Spy down. Scout down. Oh, almost. Okay, one more shot to do it. Bam. Dead. Oh, there's a sword. One thing they do have in common are sponsors. Just like today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. What's that? You've never heard of the best mobile game in the world? Well, today's your lucky day. Raid Shadow Legends is a turn-based RPG game where you collect champions, put them together in teams, and battle other bosses and players. And not only is it free, it's available for both mobile and PC, so what are you waiting for? The game has like what? Hey Google, how many downloads does Raid Shadow Legends have?
20 million downloads. On the website businesswire.com.
That is correct. The game has over 25 million downloads and over 1 million people playing the game every day. And I'll admit, initially the game was a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of things to do in the game, but because of the huge community, I was able to go to Discord and ask people for advice and also look up hundreds of guides over on YouTube. Plus, you can also join clans to ask the community important questions like, what champions should I use? What's the best champion out there? How do I get artifacts? Why does Hamaji have no friends? Important questions. If you're a new player and use my link in the description below, you can get 100,000 silver and a champion for free. Then just click here to get your rewards. And I highly recommend you get it right now because this reward will only be available for 30 days. Once again, link down in the description below. Good luck and I'll see you there. Like I was saying, it honestly depends, but I'd also say that these guys typically had little to no fancy branding or graphic design for their channel. They didn't really invest that much time into that and instead just focused on making content. But one thing that is unconditional is that all of them have some kind of intro before the video starts. These intros could be really good. Spencer going up. Or absolutely terrible.
Play ball!
And usually to spice things up, they also start doing things like challenges where they can't press a certain button or they have to taunt after every kill. They'll probably even delve into the times 10, times 100, play wacky maps and go, whoa, this is so wacky.
Okay, hear me out here. What if you take Hightower, but you copy paste it on top of itself like 50 times and you get a higher tower?
You are an absolute
brilliant
genius.
Brilliant.
Give him a round of applause, everyone. That is the best. Next up, we have the commentary channels. They are yet another huge pillar of TF2 content. Now, these guys will usually record TF2 footage in their own time, and then when it comes to making a video, we'll just talk over said footage recorded with the script. So it is kind of broad, but I want to start talking about the essay channels. These videos could be about anything. They can vary from game updates, personal life updates, maybe game discussions, or maybe just rambling and rants about something that's happened recently. But it's almost always just gameplay and their voice. Sometimes it's normal gameplay, but you can always get the occasional surfing gameplay. Wow, look at that. I can really feel the waves. Just close your eyes and listen to the spoon. Number 50, Burger King foot lettuce. These videos are usually really nice to just watch and listen to, but again, it all depends on the creator. It can be really entertaining to watch them talk. Sometimes it can get really boring, but one cardinal sin of any commentary channel is not editing out a death. We just have to sit there and look at their lifeless dead body as they spectate. This is fine. Then you also have the high achievers who incorporate SFM skits or little pieces of comedy in between some segments to keep things interesting. If their videos are well done, they're visually pleasing, well paced, and also really engaging and funny. They also have the largest range possible. Their content can range all the way from deep dives into TF2 lore or TF2's backstory or discussions about weapons and loadouts.
In the supposedly ongoing comic series, Scout is labeled as God's gift to women in The Naked and the Dead. So my question is, what made Scout God's gift to women? Do I even need to spit out the facts? Just look at that chiseled physique, that perfectly sculpted facial structure, that nice, mesmerizing, perfectly toned, juicy ass.
And of course, the most important one, top 10 videos. TF2 is a game made by Valve, and Valve workers always love to work on butts. On the Valve website itself, it literally says, "We love to make big butts." And that is why for today's video, I want to talk about the top 10 biggest butts in Team Fortress 2. Starting off with number 10. The cow from 2-4. These guys can be really creative and it depends entirely on the creator, but with a lot of creativity, commentary channels can be really fun to watch. And that is why they're such a huge part of the TF2 YouTube scene. Of course, we also have the trader TF2bers. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory, but trader TF2bers love to discuss anything to do with the economy. Things like crazy new unusuals that have just been unboxed.
Alright guys, so I've just got news that another burning team captain has been unboxed. This is insane. It's been so long since we had one of these. Like, obviously you guys know the burning team captain is worth like at least $24. Like, this is crazy. Now, if you're a trader and you're heavily invested into trading like me, you will know that supply and demand is a thing. So there is supply and demand, and a team captain means there's a supply to the demand. So it's pretty crazy, guys, and just insane when you think about it. This video was brought to you by Marketplace.com.
Or, you know, trades gone wrong, trades gone well, or maybe a new scam that's going around. Hey guys, Trader TF2ber here. So this is a PSA to all of you traders. If someone asks for free unusuals, don't do it. This is a new scam called asking for free unusuals, and it's really dangerous. I know it looks like a good deal at the time because you'll get nothing in return and you'll give your unusuals away, but the best thing you can do is just like, don't do that ever. This video is sponsored by Marketplace. But of course, some people go above and beyond and pop off with a beautiful SFM idle background, which is just mwah. And one thing that applies to all trader TF2bers, you cannot argue with me on this one. They have done a rags to riches video at some point. And then when you go to your Steam profile, they're probably like level 100 and above. They have some sort of matching GIF with their background and a crazy filled info box. And their inventory is decked out. The editors are probably the most picky TF2bers out there. What I mean by that is that they will never upload a video if it doesn't feel just right. They will spend hours on small edits making sure everything flows nicely and is nothing short of perfect. And because of that, they don't upload very often. But when they do, they make absolutely killer videos. Their videos will usually be their own gameplay with memes and edits put on top to make it way more energetic and visually pleasing. But of course, there is a spectrum. You have the meme editors who will, you know, make edits, have some fast-paced music. It's really enjoyable to watch. And sometimes the editing is genuinely godlike too. And then there's the... Hello? Like I was saying, there is also the chaotic meme editors who will stuff everything they can think of into 5 minutes.
Be gone!
In these type of videos, there's way too many memes to process. Everything is just happening and blasting and there's no time to breathe. These are also the guys who believe that loud equals funny and will proceed to ear rape you at every chance they have. But of course, within this subcategory, you also have frag movie editors. Now these are the guys who don't really include memes and are more known for their cleaner edits with their frags. And these guys have different focuses in mind. Once again, it's quality over quantity. Their frag movies are an absolute art form, and if done really well, they can produce absolutely god tier content. If done poorly, well... Okay, enough. Moving on. Stop. How do I stop playing? Where's the off button? God. Shit. Oh my god, can the video stop? Where is the off button? Dude, okay, stop. Oh, thank god. And now we have our competitive content creators. There are first of all the most popular ones, which are usually casters and analysts who will be casting the majority of competitive TF2 matches. Not only are they extremely knowledgeable about TF2 itself and everything happening around it, they have this amazing ability to transform and heighten spectating any competitive TF2 match to another level. Hey everyone, welcome to the 12v12 Highlander, no, not Highlander. So the game hasn't started yet and it won't start for another 30 minutes. We're just gonna talk about competitive stuff for like way longer than need. So here are the team line. Alright, I hope you enjoyed 30 minutes of watching the loading screen. The game is now about to begin. They're air blasting blue team off the cart. I mean team big PP off the cart. What do you think, Analyst?
Yeah, I mean, Team Small PP is very well known for their defensive strategies on upward, but it seems like Team Big PP has been practicing a lot on upward. The coach, also known as Pyromane, has always told him to WM1, and it seems like his advice is not working right now as Team Big PP takes the first point confidently.
Yep, that is correct. I got every word you were saying, word for word, 100%. Your mic totally wasn't complete shit. Now, we're gonna focus on Crowbar right now. Crowbar has a very impressive career. He started his career as a spy main, and he was told to kill himself by everyone else, and so he swapped to Pyro, and it just got worse from there. Then you also have the content creators who will make competitive highlight videos where they take the best moments from matches and will create a montage.
Top 2 play of the week is gonna go to XX Pyromane XX GEWP Trade.TF, playing as the Pyromaniac. It looks like he's getting quite some optimal damage on that sniper, and boom! Rotates over to the first control point with a score shot, misses a shot but makes up for it with some nice flamethrower action once again. He picks up the health, looks for some enemies, misses the flare barely once again, and immediately goes for the spawn camp strategy. A great strategy that proves itself to be the key to success, rest in peace Engineer, allowing his team to cap and securing him the game. Wow.
And then there's also the players themselves, who usually stream themselves in pugs and will often make highlight videos over on YouTube. Their channels are usually a great place for people to go to for advice with TF2 and esports in general, and they will always provide an amazing insight into how a competitive game plays out. With TF2 being a game mostly played casually, seeing how competitive players and teams operate is really interesting and a great learning experience. Drama and news channels of TF2 are rare, but they do exist. But they thrive whenever something happens in the TF2 community, whether it be beef within two large members, or when a big update drops, or when even the tiniest of updates from Valve comes out. And you may think that these guys will blend in with the commentary channels, and I agree. But the main difference is that they will usually go silent for a long time. But when something pops up in the TF2 community or from Valve, so does their channel. TF2 news and drama channels are crazy fast. I don't know if it's just me, but they will always have a video covering everything regarding an update or post within a few hours, or at most 2 days. Another thing fairly common with news and drama channels is clickbait. Now, please don't get me wrong, not all drama or news channels are like this. We have a lot of professional and down-to-earth news channels within the TF2 community, but it's always funny to see how some of these types of channels make their videos and thumbnails. There's usually some sort of shock factor like, "We need to talk," or "Huge TF2 update, is the game saved? Avoid this TF2 scam. Is TF2 dying?" And then when it's really bad, like, they always start the video with a huge sigh. Hey everyone, so this video is very difficult to make, but it is true that I did play Pyro that one time in casual, and I'm so sorry. And I hope that you forgive me, and because I'm pretty sure that you have, please give me your money by supporting me on Patreon. Animators are probably one of the most underrated content creators within the TF2 YouTube scene. Each project takes hours, days, weeks, and sometimes even months or years. I honestly have nothing but respect for them. You have, in my opinion, three main categories of TF2 animators. We have number one, the SFM animators. These guys are the main go-to animators in the TF2 scene. SFM animators have a pretty wide variety of content. They can range from small projects like short animations to larger projects like mini movies with some crazy production quality. Some of them may even work on taunts for the game, artwork, and maybe even music videos. And chances are they may even own a Saxy. And next up, we have our Gmod animators. Now, these guys have been here for a long time, some of them making absolutely timeless content that will be remembered through many memes and clips. And of course, I also wanted to mention him by name with all respect, Kitty0706, the creator of Team Fabulous 2, probably one of the best Gmod videos out there. It also perfectly summarizes what a Gmod animation usually is. It's chaotic, it's intense, it's fast-paced, and also incredibly random, but it's so enjoyable. So enjoyable, in fact, that even people who don't play TF2 will just understand the humor and can enjoy it regardless. Next up, we have our hand-drawn animators. Now, these guys are the rarest type of animators within the TF2 scene, and they're more well known for their unique shorts and art styles. Which brings me to one of my favorite things about these type of animations. It's the fact that you can tell that all of them have a specific style. Unlike SFM, you can clearly tell who the artist is just from a single frame, and I think that's such a special part about hand-drawn animations. Aside from that, these guys are incredibly talented, underrated, and from my experience are just really cool people. Outside of YouTube, there are also people who purely stream TF2. First of all, you have the competitive players who are usually really focused on the game and have little to no interaction with chat. And that's because they're usually streaming themselves playing competitive matches and are mainly talking to their team. You're also able to identify one by their usually very minimal overlays and competitively optimized version of TF2.
What's my team doing? Okay, we're lost, man. Sketcher in. Both Sketcher in. I'm hitting everything.
Okay.
You guys not following up on damage? Pop, pop, pop. On me. Soldiers in, soldiers down. Oh, I don't know what these guys will do without me. I'm good. This game is dead.
And then you have the casual streamers. Streamers that mainly stream jump maps, MVM, and of course just them playing casual. Now, these guys are usually pretty chill, really down to earth, and are usually very interactive with their chat. They're also usually the type of streamers who will spend a lot more time on their overlays and Twitch panels.
Wow, I'm so good at this. Thank you, Big Chunga69, for the follow.
Overall, TF2 streamers have really strong communities due to how much they interact with their audience and are generally just really down-to-earth people. Lastly, we have our artists and workshop creators. These guys are once again extremely underappreciated and honestly such a huge part of the creator scene. We first of all have the artists, the people who create fan art, thumbnails, and original pieces of work. They're usually ones to do a time-lapse of their content with some music playing in the background, and they're also usually advertising commissions over on Discord and Twitter. And then you have the people who work on content for the actual game itself. And there's so many types of people to list. We have the mappers, modelers, modders, designers, you name it. These guys will make custom HUDs to custom maps, full-on expansions for the game, and of course workshop content for Valve to approve and add into the game. Content creation wise, these guys are on another level and there's not much to joke about. These guys make some genuinely amazing content and you know what? Forget everything I said. It's all cursed. It's all cursed. I hate it. Thank you, internet.